Have you ever wondered how some writers keep on delivering multiple books a year whilst having a day job? Or how famous authors manage to deliver a manuscript on deadline again and again and again? Well, in this video, I'm going to share my secrets on how I keep on being a productive writer. And I'm going to share the 3 things you need so that you can write faster without losing quality on your manuscripts. So the first thing I want you to do is to plan your project. If you want to be a very productive writer and write a fast first draft, oh my god, that was really hard to say. If you want to write a fast first draft, then you need to think of your entire project and actually have a plan. You need to make sure that you treat writing as a professional. And I mean, this is what we want to do. I want to be a professional writer, and I bet that you want that too. This is why you're here. This is why you're watching my channel. And if we're going to do that, we need to have a plan. And the way I do it is that I actually plan out my manuscripts and my projects in Notion. I have a Notion board with all of my manuscripts, and I make a plan for it. So I know that during this and this date, I want to write the first draft. I know that during this and this time, I'm in editing mode. I know that roughly around this date, I want to send it to an editor. And the reason why I do this is because that makes sure that I always have, some books work in progress, and I know what's expected of me. And I mean, this is the way I've chosen to grow my career. And I think it's really good because that means that I'm treating my writing as a job. It's not something I'm just doing for fun. I'm actually a little bit more professional about it. But to be able to start planning your book and your project to make sure that you write a good, fast first draft, first of all, you need to know what genre you're writing in, because depending on your genre, there are different genre expectations, there are different length of your manuscript. So maybe you're writing a romance novel, and then you need to decide or make some research whether or not you want to go with a KU or if you want to go wide, depending on what, the readers will have different expectations. Some readers really like the shorter romance novels that are like 60k words. Some of them like the longer versions, which are maybe around 90,000 words. And this will, impact how you write your first draft, because if you want to have a longer story, then it will take more time to write, of course. And in this planning stage, as I said, I want you to decide roughly around how long your book is going to be. And after that, I want you to make a plan. This is the most important step for you to actually be able to write as fast as possible, because if you do a good outline, you will be able to sit down and keep on going each and every single day. So I want you to, first of all, put down the major plot points of your manuscript. And if you don't know how to do that, I've made a video about it. I can link it in the description box. But this is something that I figured that most of us know how to do. But make sure that you have all the biggest plot points and that you know where you want your character to go. Make sure that you have a good character arc. I think that this is so important when we're writing fast, because otherwise it's super easy that we get into writing flow and then just, your characters start taking over the narrative, which means that you will have so much to edit later, because they were not supposed to go to Germany. That has nothing to do with the story. It was just you having fun with the characters and getting to know them, and you have to edit out 30,000 words. Believe me, I've been there, and it's not fun in the editing stages. You would wish you would have a plan. And the method I'm talking about now is, I think, more suited to people who actually plan out their manuscripts. Just so we're clear. So if you are a plotter, I think this, the first step is really, really important. So make sure you have an outline ready, you know where your characters are going. And after that, I want you to write some sort of plan for each and every single chapter. Now here you can choose whether or not you use scene cards, or if you use just write one sentence, that will be like what the chapter roughly is about. I use different methods depending on what kind of book I'm writing, but I've used both and they're really good. But if you do all of this, like, you will be so set up for being able to write a first draft that is good and has quality, and that you won't be, you won't have to edit as much. So awesome. Now you got stage 1 done, it's time for step 2. And step 2 is about making time for writing. You need to figure out, like, okay, right now you know that you want to write a book that is 70,000 words long. And to be able to do that, now you need to count backwards. How much can you write each and every single week? When do you want to have the first draft finished? If you can write 1,000 words a day, then what did I say? 70,000 words. Then 70,000 words, that will take, oh my God, I'm not good at math. 70 days. So just over 2 months, and that is a good goal. Like, write 1,000 words a day and you will have it within 10 weeks. That is actually a really good and solid plan, and that is definitely achievable. But to be able to do that, you also need to make sure that your life doesn't get in the way of your writing. You need to, during this time, I want you to prioritize your writing first and then do the other stuff. When I did this the first time, I started getting up half an hour earlier at first, and then 1 hour earlier before work, to make sure that I got my writing done for the day. So I woke up earlier, I sat down, I wrote for an hour, and then my day started. Then I went to work, then I went to the gym and did all the other stuff that I was supposed to do. But the reason why I did it first was because in the mornings, like between 6 and 7, no one wants to reach you, no one needed me, and there were not other things distracting me. So that was like my sacred time for writing. And sure, every now and then life happened and I had something else that turned up, but during that time I made sure to like write during my lunch break or write in the evening. I made sure that that writing time wasn't lost and that I kept the momentum going. So I kept on reaching my goals and work goals all the time. And I also kept track of my entire project. I always do this with my projects nowadays. So I have an Excel Google Sheet where I track all my writing, I track my progress and my project. I have written down the deadlines. I think I even have the like what's supposed to be in each and every single chapter in it. And if you're interested in getting a sheet like this yourself, you should sign up to my Substack. It will be in the welcome email, just so you can copy it and use it yourself. I love it. It has really helped me become a more productive writer. Because the thing is also, when you start tracking your writing, there will be weeks when you feel like, gosh, I haven't reached anything, I haven't done anything. But then you go back and you will be like, oh my God, yeah, I wrote 700 words yesterday. And the day before that, I wrote 1,000. I thought it was a bad writing day. Apparently not. So, because when you see the progress, you will also be much more, it would be easier for you to motivate yourself to keep on going. Because if you want to write faster but still have quality, you need to get over that hurdle and not make excuses for yourself. Because believe me, I know it's super easy to procrastinate and to prioritize other things, but don't do it. Focus on your writing. This is why you're here. This is why you're watching this video. And to do that, one of my top tips is actually to put it in your calendar. Have a meeting with yourself where you sit down and write. This is so important. And this can actually help you also get into focus and flow. And this leads me on to step number 3, which is to keep the momentum going. So to be able to finish your first draft, you need to keep on writing. And one way to do that is to make sure that nothing stops you. And what do I mean by this? Well, like for me, I love social media. I love creating content. I love scrolling social media because I think it's fun. I think it's inspiring. And whenever I'm tired, I will reach for my phone. This is like an instinctual thing. And I know this about myself. Also, since I work with marketing, I know this about myself, which means that when I'm writing, I have a focus app on my phone that locks down the phone and I can't reach social media. And I put it on for 1 hour, so and I want to keep the streak going. I love this. The app that I'm using is called Forest, and you have a cute little tree growing whilst doing this. And it really helped me realize also how many times I reach for my phone subconsciously. So be honest with yourself and see where you distract yourself. Because the thing is, if we don't let our phones distract ourselves, we will write a lot more. And also one thing that you can do is to actually turn off your internet. Don't let notifications get in the way of you being productive, because it's so easy, when you get an email or anything, you get a text message, I don't know, it's so easy to try to switch and look at that for one moment. But the thing that happens then is that you will get pulled out of the story, you will lose the momentum, you will lose the flow and hyper focus that you want to be in to be able to be as productive and create as good writing as possible. So remember that it's okay to just unplug and be with your manuscript, because I think that is one of the feelings that we want to reach also, this flow state where we just see everything that's happening in the story in front of us. And the only way to reach that is to immerse ourselves in our writing fully. And another thing, I think it was Neil Gaiman who said that it is okay not to write, but it's not okay to do anything else. So just sit there. If you get writer's block or whatever, just sit there with your manuscript and look at it. Don't let your phone distract you. Don't let the internet distract you. Do nothing instead. And I promise you that after a while, you will start writing again. Or go for a walk, go for a run. Make sure that you know yourself enough to keep the momentum going. I usually leave my phone at home, leave everything at home, and go for a run when I don't know what to write next, or when when there is something with my manuscript that I need to think about. This usually always helps. It's so good, and my head really needs that state of nothingness, doing nothing, just thoughts running around or whatever happens. But it's so good for my creativity. And another thing that I want you to do is to use something called the TK method, especially if you're writing fantasy or sci-fi. Because one thing that can happen when we are in first draft mode, especially when we're writing things we don't know everything about and we want to go start doing research, is that instead of then, going to the internet and starting to looking up things like, oh, I wonder what things taste like on the moon or whatever, or what does a dragon sound like? I don't know what you're doing research. But instead of doing that, just put TK in the manuscript and insert write cool fight scene here, or do research about dragons. Because when you do that, you can just keep the momentum going and get a really good first draft out, instead of stopping. Because the stopping, if you start doing research or stopping within this writing sprint, it's so hard to get back up to that momentum again. It's like when you're running or driving a car. If you stop the car, it will take some time before you accelerate again. And right now, when we're doing this, we just want to write a first draft from start to finish fairly fast. But also to keep the quality of the manuscript and the story and not having to edit so much, we want to do it very focused and very much in writing flow. So those are my 3 secrets how I write fast but still fairly good quality first drafts. I hope it will help you to accelerate your own writing. Let me know in the comments what kind of secrets you have when it comes to writing a great first draft. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye.